Games have been censored, Fortnite sold out again, and a big game developer did an oopsie, and the anti-vax community is taking over video games.
What?
It's certainly been quite a week for gaming. And you know what? Actually, it's been one hell of a month, too. I mean, just this month we saw the release of Apex Legends.
Has it only been a few weeks?
I know. For the shortest
Weird.
month, it felt like it was forever long. Apex Legends, a new Far Cry game, Anthem, and a little game called Ape Out that I'll gush about later.
But let's focus on this most recent week, starting with a horror game that was recently released, garnered incredible reviews, and then suffered a review bomb, and then just got completely erased from existence thanks to
China. 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 China.
The game is called Devotion. It's a first-person atmospheric horror game depicting the life of a family shadowed by religious belief.
It was a first-person
Yes.
atmospheric.
Yes. Everything is in the past tense here, because it's gone now. Those who were lucky enough to play the game played as a stagnated screenwriter who explores an apartment complex with rooms that represent various years in the lives of their family members throughout the 1980s, and eventually you become obsessed with a cult who your character believes can cure your daughter's psychiatric problems and apparently help her singing career.
Yeah.
Like we said, the game had excellent reviews. After reading up on it, both of us very, very interested in checking it out. A lot of people were playing it on Twitch in the days after it came out. It's like, oh boy,
A new horror game.
let's go play this new horror game. But then you go to the Steam page. Well, there's no Steam page. It just takes you to steam.com.
It's gone.
The soundtrack's still up though.
Cool.
Which is even more confusing.
Was this all part of the psychological torture of the game? Was it too scary that they had to remove it because it was driving people crazy, and by removing it, they would make people go even crazier?
Big if true.
No. Like we said, it was
China.
they had to remove it because hidden within the game itself was a joke that made fun of Chinese President Xi Jinping and his resemblance to Winnie the Pooh. And since you watch this show, you're probably already aware about this whole thing, but here's a quick refresher. People think Xi Jinping resembles Winnie the Pooh, so for quite a while now, there have been countless images created with side-by-side comparisons of the two. He obviously doesn't enjoy being compared to Winnie the Pooh, so China started censoring the images, any mention of the comparisons, and even went so far as to ban the movie Christopher Robin, as well as censoring Winnie the Pooh in the recent release of Kingdom Hearts 3. They fucking hate Pooh now. And it's all because their president looks like an anthropomorphic teddy bear.
This is like what happened to Pepe.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh did nothing wrong, guys.
It's just, Winnie the Pooh absolutely does nothing wrong. It's just the president of China looks like him.
Yeah, maybe.
And
maybe lose some weight
sure.
or not, whatever. You don't look like a fucking bear,
Yeah.
buddy. Get some thicker skin. So anyway, in the game Devotion, it became public knowledge that a poster hanging on one of the walls, it translated to Xi Jinping, Winnie the Pooh, moron. Not subtle. Once that can of worms was open, there was really no way to bottle it back up. The store page on Steam was hit by an abundance of bad reviews, almost entirely written in Chinese, and that caused the overall score to switch from positive to negative within just a few hours, and shortly after that, the game was not only removed from the Steam store, but all the promotional content vanished from the developer's social media channels. It's just gone.
Yeah. Now, before it was completely wiped out, the developer, Red Candle Games, issued a series of increasingly apologetic statements, starting with, "Our team often referenced popular internet memes for placeholders in the prototype stage. We accidentally did not delete all of them in this version because of release sync. We do not have any intention to attack or insult. They have been removed in version 1.0.5. This controversy shows that our team is not careful enough in the due process. As a game company, we have a lot to improve. We apologize for all affected parties. Please forgive us. All responsibilities are on us." And after that, they went further into the whole blaming it on synchronization problems, arguing that the joke was just a placeholder for future art, but it never got updated. And then they said that it was solely the fault of a single dev, and that the other team was just so busy that they'd overlooked the whole problem. Now, following those statements, they basically just started blatantly apologizing, but apparently at some point they just gave up and removed the game entirely, and the negative reviews have migrated to the studio's previous title, Detention. So...
Yeah.
Will Devotion ever see the light of day again? Will they just update the game with the reference removed? It looks like they're trying, but no one really knows right now. The developers, they've just gone silent, and the whole thing looks like it's come to a standstill while they presumably wait to see if this little episode can just blow over, or if the power of China has completely ruined their entire business.
Yeah, this is especially interesting because this is a Taiwanese dev. So
Not too far from the reach of power.
officially, they're subjects of the People's Republic of China, but, in practice, not so much. So we could see some really groundbreaking, tests of that very odd relationship happen here.
Gaming changes the world again.
And but don't forget, never forget that China tried to take away our video games.
Yeah.
You all were directing your attention over at women. Oh, the women are going to take our video games.
No, it was the Chinese.
China was sneaking in the back door and literally taking away your games.
Also buying up every game company, website.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't think the joke was a mistake. Even if it was, it's sad to see something get destroyed over something so stupid. Come on. Anyway, at least the devs behind Devotion didn't attempt to clear the air over on a little web forum known as 8chan. Which, if they did that, that would make things 1,000 times worse. But that's exactly what an even bigger, far more notable developer did this week, and the results are pretty much exactly what you could have expected.
Yeah.
And you can go ahead and just file this whole thing under the category of just why. Why? Because none of this makes sense, and I'm sure there's at least someone out there that will argue about the legitimacy of 8chan and claim that a lot of the accusations against the website are lies, are made up, are exaggerations, or whatever else. But what the hell would a developer like THQ Nordic, why would they host an AMA over on 8chan when a simple Google search would show that the site has a terrible reputation and is mainly seen as a place for people who thought 4chan wasn't edgy enough and had gone too far with censorship?
Yeah.
Like, all you have to do is literally Google it, or if you're really going to commit to an interview on this site and you're a big developer, I don't know, risk it and just visit the site. Poke around for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just peek.
And we're not suggesting anyone watching this do that at all.
But that's where all the Q drops happen.
Please don't. The site was even
How do
blacklisted.
I know what Q's up to?
The site was blacklisted from directly linking from Google years ago for suspected child abuse. So safer just to stay away. But I mean, you'd hope and assume that someone down at the old PR department at THQ would have done some shred of work and just Googled the fucking term. Anyways, they did the AMA. It already happened. And as you could assume, again, it turned into a fucking shit show, which left the dev apologizing, begging for forgiveness, and having to explain a bunch of the actual responses that they'd given during the whole AMA. Now, this whole thing, it started with a tweet from their official account that read, "We're doing an 8chan AMA and we have no idea why. Come join us," with a link to the site and a follow-up tweet saying, "The opportunity was here and we took it. We got approached in a very friendly and polite manner and were assured said person, shout out to Mark, will take care of the nasty stuff."
So yeah, they admitted to at least having a general prior understanding of the type of content and discussions that take place there on 8chan, but hey, they went ahead with it anyway.
Bold move.
We're a fun game developer. Yeah, people describe the AMA as pretty boring in general, but the lowlights include the following as reported by Engadget. The second question in the AMA contained a direct reference to pedophilia, and it accompanied a drawing of two young women with ridiculously large breasts being fondled by a man towering behind them. In response to the question, "Where the big titty lollies at?" Brock said, "You got them already, we'd say." And, quote, "In between legitimate questions about the state of THQ Nordic's franchises, users dropped further references to child pornography and Nazism." Police, the THQ guy, and Brock, they played along with all this, answering the relevant questions for about an hour.
So apparently once they'd finished the AMA and then floated back down to reality and checked in on the success of this PR disaster, they were probably shocked to find that the press, fellow members of the gaming industry, and just people in general had all pretty much come to the same general consensus. What the fuck are you doing, you dumb fucks? So it was apology time. Their account soon tweeted, "I personally agreed to this AMA without doing my proper due diligence to understand the history and the controversy of the site. I do not condone child pornography, white supremacy, or racism in any shape or form." And you know when you say that in an apology, you probably fucked up.
Yeah, if it ever
Pretty
gets,
bad.
If you've got to that point,
Yeah.
it's kind of, yeah.
Even just late. Even apologizing for one of those is probably really bad, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
Well, all of them together. He continued, I am terribly sorry for the short-sightedness of my decision and promise to be far more vigorous in my assessment of these activities in the future. This was not about being edgy. This blew up and I very much regret to have done it in the first place. Philip Brock, PR and Marketing Director, THQ Nordic. Oh, I'm sorry.
For now, though, let's, hey, at least they didn't make a Chinese Winnie the Pooh game.
Yeah, I guess.
And I was playing Wreckfest all day. That's a THQ Nordic game.
Yeah, right? So,
didn't find any lolly porn in there yet.
Well, you haven't downloaded any of the workshop items from Steam. Those are user-created, Elliot. There could be anything in there.
Well, for now, let's pivot away from bad ideas to good ideas. Thanks to a recent petition, the game Plague Incorporated, a strategy game where you try to kill the human race with a disease before they can invent and disseminate a cure, is going to include one more way to eventually wipe humans off the face of the earth by introducing anti-vaxxers to the game. Anti-vaxxers being the very real, very stupid group of primarily wealthy people who refuse to vaccinate their children and are responsible for the recent resurgence in preventable diseases that were once a thing of the past.
We're bringing it back.
Woo! In response to requests from fans to add an anti-vaxxer scenario to the game's creators started a Change.org petition and said that if it could get 10,000 signatures, they would go ahead and add it to the game. It wasn't long before the petition blew past its initial goal and settled at just over double what the team had asked for, so making good on their word, they confirmed that yes, an anti-vax scenario will be coming to the game sometime in the future, and they also proved that Change.org petitions aren't completely worthless.
Just 99% of the time.
This one time, something came out of it.
Yeah. Moving on, though, Fortnite just kicked off its latest season with a few notable additions, and we'll make this quick because we know that no one really cares about Fortnite anymore, but what they've added is definitely newsworthy because one thing is a direct response to the success of Apex Legends, or at least seems that way.
Oh, it definitely is.
And the other appears to be a marketing scheme developed alongside the music industry, which is the music industry is just constantly trying to figure out a way to reach these damn kids.
You know what kids love?
Xanax.
50-year-olds.
Oh. First off, Fortnite has added a pinging system to the game, which that's a great addition.
How'd they think of that?
It's almost certainly in response to the public's absolute adoration of the fantastic, near-perfect ping system within Apex Legends.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not the same as stealing a dance move, but hey, we already said that every Battle Royale game should have this, so apparently Epic thinks so too. Now Fortnite has it. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the lawsuit. It won't happen. Yes, it is a good thing that Fortnite has it now, and it proves that these games, they can adopt well-thought-out and totally useful mechanics if the community begs for it. Oh, and also because it was recently reported that Fortnite's monetization has pretty much plummeted, and Apex isn't making things any easier for them. It was down like 50% in January.
Fortnite dying?
We only made $11 billion this month. What are we going to do?
Man.
The shareholders are going to be pissed.
It's like League of Legends all over again.
Can't last forever. You can't ride that lightning for forever and ever.
People have attention span.
Unless you're CSGO, I guess.
CSGO plateaued at just the perfect middle range.
Yeah.
Of like, there's always going to be people playing it. A pretty decent number of people playing
the esports
it.
community is huge around it, so
yeah.
There are games that have stood the test of time. World of Warcraft, blah, 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 blah.
But yeah, if we're talking
not
about
at their peaks.
If we're talking about those coveted 12-year-old gamers, yeah.
And you know what 12-year-old gamers love?
8chan.
No. Well, probably. But
Winnie the Pooh.
No, but
okay, yeah. Well, speaking of ways to monetize their game further, we have no idea if any money actually exchanged hands here, but you could assume that there was some kind of deal in place to make Fortnite's other new feature come to life. After the success of their live DJ event with Marshmello, we knew it wouldn't take long for other entertainment properties to seize the opportunity to align themselves with Epic Games and collaborate on some kind of new feature. It wasn't a movie or TV show this time, just more music industry stuff, but alongside the launch of Season 8 came a brand new island in the game, and it's a Weezer theme park.
That's what it is. 12-year-olds love Weezer.
12-year-olds were not even born yet when the Blue Album and Pinkerton came out.
Mom, what's a hash pipe?
It's so weird. Like I wouldn't be surprised if 12-year-olds love Weezer.
90s 12-year-olds did.
But it is weird to me. Actually, Green Day weirds me out more because like I'm still a big fan of like their first like decade.
Yeah.
Great shit.
Mm-hmm.
I have no interest in anything they've done since then, but there's a whole new generation that like American Idiot is like the classics.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
anything before that might as well not exist.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I'm aging myself here, but yes, Weezer has a theme park in the game called Weezer World. And while you're there visiting, you'll be treated to their trademark W logo and the ever-present sound of their newest album pumping through the park's loudspeakers in-game. It's just a creative mode island. We have no idea how long it'll even be around for, but if you exist in the oddly specific Venn diagram of Weezer fans in 2019 and Fortnite fans in 2019, then boy, do you have something to go do right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you like Weezer? Have you ever listened to Weezer in a battle royale shooter?
Apparently Rivers plays with his daughter or something. He was tweeting about it.
Oh, that's nice.
It is. That's being a good parent, but you don't
Yeah.
it's not a weird fit because Weezer's also one of those, just like Marshmello, and believe me, I love a lot of Weezer songs.
Yeah.
But just like Marshmello, it is the most, right now, the most like family-friendly,
It's safe.
kid-friendly version of what music is that is possible.
Yeah.
Outside of Kids Bop, which Fortnite probably wouldn't do because then they'd be like, all right, we admit it, it's all 12-year-olds.
Right.
So
Kids Bop is for 6-year-olds to feel like they're as cool as 12-year-olds.
the Kids Bop execs are like, Weezer, we love you. We don't even have to change any of the lyrics. It's great. In fact, we'll just put the song on the album. Anyways, if you're looking for a totally different new game, check out Ape Out. I played through the campaign early this morning because it just dropped. It's from Devolver Digital, who has a great track record with stuff like Hotline Miami.
Yeah, it's Hotline Miami, but you're a gorilla.
They did Enter the Gungeon, and that's, basically what it is.
Yeah.
You're a girl that has to just escape and get through these zones, and it's very violent for the low-res kind of thing that it is.
Mm-hmm.
You smash people into walls or grab them and force them to shoot other people. Blood goes everywhere. You toss them out of buildings. But what's really cool about this is the soundtrack is like this kind of like free-form improv jazz the whole time with like drums, and every time you kill someone, it's like a cymbal smash or whatever, and it works really well. The art style's really, really cool. So if you don't like playing games with other people, which I'm not a huge fan of, although I do enjoy a lot of single-player games, just check it out. My one tip for the week. I enjoyed it.
And before we go, we want to let you know that we found some time in two very
Exclusive
people's schedules who will be joining us for a little gaming live stream next Wednesday. It's a G4 reunion because we'll be streaming a Demolition Derby game called Wreckfest
that Elliot's been playing.
with Sean Spool Pool
He's going to be there.
and Kevin Pereira
Of the Attack.
on Wednesday of next week. We haven't picked the exact time yet, but just keep an eye out. Check our Twitters, or we'll probably mention it here on the channel at some point before then.
Yeah.
And,
just what Wednesday? Just look before Wednesday. I'll probably put the link up on like Monday, but then people will be like, 72 hours before. Oh, boo, unsubscribe. Don't do that. Just anticipate and enjoy it. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I can't wait. I played a bit of the game, and it looks like it's going to be a blast. So
It's a very fun game.
yes.
I played a lot today.
We also have another stream coming up that we have planned, and we'll talk about that one when the time gets closer. But that's it for us today. Be sure to check out our latest videos from this week, including a brand new episode of Tech News Day, as well as just a joyful episode about Lil Jacob Wall getting kicked off Twitter for being a big loser. Head over to our Patreon or become a member by clicking the join button below if you want to support the channel, and we'll see you soon for News Dump and Weekly Weird News. Thanks for joining us. Now
See you
go.
later, bye.
I'm heading out to Weezer World.